Good morning, St. Lucia, and it's time to wake up the right way. You're watching This Morning. Welcome back. I'm Sheila Mendez, your host, and today I have Laura John with me. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great.
How are you?
I'm excited. And St. Lucia, I'm always thrilled to be bringing you something new, something innovative, something different happening here in St. Lucia. So there is a company fresh on the scene, Joie Cali. I had to make sure I get that name correct. It has a very nice ring to it, by the way.
Thank you.
But it is a company with major importance, and of course, climate change is a major issue right now. Whether or not some people choose to believe that it exists or not, it is real, and of course I think us as islanders can feel it more. And finding creative ways to reduce our waste, or be creative with what we do with it, is important. So Joie Cali is here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Joie Cali is a local startup social enterprise here in St. Lucia. We're focused on providing innovative and sustainable waste management solutions. Really the thrust of the company is to do things a little bit differently. Our very first project is our resource recovery depots, and it's a pilot project. So it's not a revenue generating activity per se. And so as we've gone through the process of just introducing the idea of these resource recovery depots to people and the company, we've gotten quite a few raised eyebrows and people trying to figure out, okay, well, what are you doing? You're not an NGO, but
Right.
you're doing something kind of for profit, like a non-profit. So we've had a lot of explaining to do, but it's been a great experience because we've gotten an opportunity to tell people, what we're about and explain our vision.
And with the recovery depots, I was like, oh, okay, this is a recycling company. But of course, I know you all don't see yourself as a recycling company because there's a bigger picture to that. So if you elaborate on that for St. Lucia.
Okay, so we're trying to move away from the use of the term recycling because recycling really speaks to one process, and that process actually has quite a large carbon footprint. So it's not without its own negative impacts. And we cannot look to recycling as the save-all. For the purposes of our resource recovery depots, which we've just launched, we're focusing on the recovery aspect. So that's where Joie Cali comes in, because we know you can only reuse so much.
Right.
And so at the depots, you just bring in those glass and plastic items. You get them weighed, and you have the opportunity to earn Massey Store reward points.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Great. So with that, I know, is there a schedule of particular days? And if people wanted to get access to it, how can they keep following you all as well?
Okay. So the resource recovery depots, they're set up at 3 Massey Store locations. Massey Mega in Shock, Massey Cul-de-sac, and Massey Stores in New Dock, Vieux-Fort. And so you will see our little tents out there at each location with our volunteers who have been, just really great in terms of supporting and giving up their time to this activity. So you'll see lots of volunteers, balloons, and you just come in, bring your materials, we'll weigh it, and then we'll let you know how many points you receive based on the weight. But we do ask that you empty the contents of those containers, that they're rinsed and clean, because just from a public health and safety standpoint, we don't want the volunteers having to handle foreign, unknown substances.
All right, super. And before we leave, I think St. Lucia just needs to quickly get the story behind the name, because it's definitely very catchy.
It's 2 words that translate directly to mean hot and sun. But the term Joie Cali is actually used in Kenya to speak to a group of persons who are generally poor, semi-skilled, who are part of the informal economy or are not necessarily officially recognized in terms of having a job, your typical 9 to 5 job. But these persons go out and they go to the landfills and they scavenge materials, which they use to then repair. They also create new products, and that's essentially how they survive. Many people in Kenya, if something were to break at home, they would say, just wakali it, because you know that you can just go down into town, find a Joakali, and they will fix it,
Right.
or you'll be able to get, some alternative.
Other use with
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Alright.
So that was the inspiration.
Great. Well, I think based on, of course, what we've learned about the company, that the name definitely embodies what the vision is and the aim of it. So, St. Lucia, now you know all about Joa Kelly. So, we have definitely got you up in the know. So, go check them out on Facebook, and of course, make sure you go out and, of course, bring your items over to the Recovery Depot. So, let's try to make a difference here on our island. We know trash and all these things. We're in a culture where I think we need to take more seriously the effects litter, pollution, all these things have on the environment. Too often you see people just throwing things all over the place. So let's be more creative, let's be more open-minded, and let's move forward. So thank you so much, Laura, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And so we're going to keep looking out for what's new and exciting from Joa Kelly, and I hope that you will too. Good morning, St. Lucia. Welcome back, everybody, and happy Friday to you. Of course, I'm here with Mr. Adam Azeh, so you know it's all about our DIY Fridays,
Yes.
and we have our big unveiling
Yes,
because we
okay.
have our finished clay pots.
Yeah. Okay, good morning, people. Today we're going to show you what the end results of all that we've been doing for the past couple of weeks. The pieces were made, they were dried, decorated, and then they were fired. And if you look, you will see some of the results. This one is a painted with glaze. This one is carved. And then this one is carved and glazed on the outside. So you can see you can do so many different things with it. This one is painted. The lava flow. Okay.
Yes.
So that's one design. That's another design. Yeah, so that's what it is all about. And you can give it a try anytime you're ready. Okay?
Great. Now,
Yeah.
of course, I think we're going to be moving on to
Yes.
something new and exciting.
Yeah. Today what we're going to do is we're going to take we got lots of t-shirts that are just plain. We're going to take a t-shirt and we're going to hand paint it to create it something more exciting. All right? So it's going to be a very short, quick painting, and anybody can give it a try. Okay?
All right, let's see how it goes.
All right. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take your t-shirt or your dress and we're going to stretch it over a cardboard. This is to keep it flat so that when you're painting, it makes it a lot easier to paint. All right. So make sure you have a piece of cardboard that really fits the t-shirt or the dress. And I'm going to stretch it over. Make sure you put it the right way, because there are times when I've painted dresses or t-shirts and I realize I paint on the back of the piece. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull it real tight. And I'm gonna clip it. You can use clothespins to keep it tight. Okay, I just use carpenters or paper clips. Okay, I'm gonna pull this edge. Now make sure that where you're gonna put your design, it's all in the middle. Okay, so now it's all stretched. I'm gonna start painting. So now what I'm doing is loading up my brush, and this is an ordinary paintbrush. It's a 1-inch paintbrush, And what I did was cut the end so that it would suit my purpose. And I'm gonna paint. Now you must recognize by now I'm painting some bamboo. Add to one side. This is just to create a little highlight. Okay. And I'm using two sides of brushes. These are create some smaller branches. This is where I'm going to put my leaves. I'm going to give one a try and see how it. This is creating the leaves. Again, with a little bit of practice. So. Okay. And you keep looking at it from a distance, and you're gonna see when you have enough leaves, whatever makes you happy. And as you look at it and you're painting, you will know when the painting is finished. Load it up and you go thin, and then I press, and then I start to ease up, and just raise your hand as you reach the end. Just press, twist, lift. Just to create another. Finally, what you need to do is, I always sign my pieces. Put your name where your work is, so that nobody could say, oh, this is theirs. That's it. So take your ordinary t-shirt and make it into something extraordinary. And that's what it's all about. So see you next time for another new and exciting project.
Hi, I'm Kerry and I'm a volunteer with SLAPS. The reason I came to volunteer was because we found a very poorly dog, me and my partner, and luckily we managed to contact Sue and Francine, and they were very good at helping me bring the dog here and have him looked after, and eventually he got a home, which was fantastic. After coming and bringing him here and seeing all the dogs and just in all the cages and just the amount of dogs that needed homes, I had to do something about it. So I started walking the dogs, taking them for walks on 3 or 4 times a week, and it really did change the dogs. Suddenly they became very sociable, they became more friendly with people and learning really to live with people, you know, having all the types of attributes that a dog would have in a home. And so the more I've seen the changes in the dogs over the months I've been here, the more it's kept me going and kept me wanting to come back more and more. And my word is to anybody that loves animals, if they have any spare time, please come and help us walk the dogs. Even if you just want to socialise with the puppies, there are so many animals here that we need as much help as we can, and hopefully we can get really good homes and train these dogs to be lovely dogs.